I grew up in Uniontown. I had a great life. My mom and dad gave me anything I wanted, anything. Cars, house, money. But when I was 18, my dad died suddenly.
Wow.
And then 2 years later, my mom developed cancer. And over this time, I ended up being vulnerable to addiction. See, I don't like that, because I'm sounding too staged right there. That's
What's
not
that?
me. That's not me right there.
That's not you.
No, that wasn't me.
No, it wasn't.
No,
So just be
someone
you.
else.
That's you. Keep your hand there. That's you.
It has me like, I don't know, that's not really me either. I just feel uptight about it.
You do feel uptight about it.
I don't know what me is anymore. Like, I need to find me. That's the problem. I don't know what me is. I have myself singing here every week now. It's a little weird for me. I never was a singer before.
You are a singer.
Now I'm a singer.
Now you're singing.
Yeah, I'm jamming out to these songs.
That's awesome. Like, how did you know who to call or what, and what happened after that?
When I hit rock bottom, it was awful. And my sister-in-law actually kicked me out of which I thought were my parents' places. I mean, that's how I looked at them all the time, but they were really my brother and sister-in-laws, because through addiction, I lost all that too.
Wow.
I don't know, I received a note on the door that said, if you're not out of here in 24 hours, we're gonna call the cops. And
From your own family?
From my own family, my brother and sister-in-law. And I called my brother and I was like, hey man, what's going on, you know? He's like, well, I don't know anything about it, but I just found out, but I'm standing by my wife's words. And to know that your brother is completely against you too, it tears your heart out. Like, there was nothing left. So I called friends, and someone finally answered the phone and was willing to pick me up for a couple days. And all I did was drink and did drugs, and it led me to, you know, not going to sleep, waking up the next day, you know, falling asleep at like 5 a.m., waking up at 7 a.m. and going to chase again. And that's all pretty much I did my whole life, was chase. I needed something better for some odd reason. I don't know what it was, but I've always had the chase to get that next step. And through this week, like, it would just, I mean, every day I would walk right by the CrossFit gym. And something inside me was like, why don't you call Tom R? Why don't you call Tom R? And I wouldn't do it. So I went into, you know, local bars and just ran up tabs. I didn't have any money. I was kicked out on the street. I was living on the street. So I'd just go there for dinner, and I would end up staying there for all night until 2 a.m. I had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, this is what I'm going to do. These are my friends. In realization, they weren't my friends. They were enablers. So I sat in these bars till 2 a.m. and then I would call, you know, a friend or pick up a random girl that night, and that's where I would go for the night. And it was Saturday night, and you know, it went through my mind, you know, this is what you're going to do. Ended up at, you know, the local bar, and did that thing, and then at 2 a.m. I couldn't find anywhere to go, not one place to go. And it was like 4 a.m. before I found somewhere to go. And I went there until like, I would say 7, and I was brought back into Uniontown. And again, I walked over to that CrossFit gym right up in the shopping center, and they were still closed. But I had my phone on me, so I walked over to McDonald's, sat on a bench at it, and I Googled Tom's number. And I made that phone call, and I said, hey Tom, it's Patrick. And then he knew something was wrong right away. And he asked if I was ready for a real change, and I said, yeah, I'll do anything, because if not, it's the end of the line for me.
What was it like the first time you went into group and you saw other people like sharing stuff you never talked about?
I've never been to a meeting like that before, and I'm just like, what's going on with this? I don't know if this is really for me. And then after the readings, everything just got real. Like, there were people speaking their minds and just telling us things that, like, they were feeling. And I had those feelings all the time. I just wasn't able to tell the right people those feelings. I was telling my friends, which when I tell my friends that would lead me to the bar.
Yeah.
And now I'm telling someone who is exactly like me the same thing, and they're like giving me the things to do to avoid going to that bar.
So what's the difference between like a recovery meeting and your Tuesday small group meeting with Steve and the guys?
The difference right now, I just feel, is the recovery meeting, there's not that many people that are looking at the spiritual side of it. I see the spiritual side in it because I'm noticing a lot of little things that happen. Like, you know, I see my brother for the first time after not calling him for a picnic. I mean, something's there. Something guided me to make that phone call.
Yeah.
Something's inside of me trying to make me a better person. And the meeting with Steve is somewhere where I can get open about that part of me. I'm a little skeptical about bringing God into the addiction meetings, just because of the judgment. I mean, there's people that still judge out there. I mean, that's in any group. But here, with a small group with Steve, I'm able to, speak freely, show you, I am acceptable to God, and I'm here for the right reasons. I grew up in a Catholic church that, it just was too uniform. It was too up and down and left and right, and sing this song, and we're gonna read a Bible verse. And here, I'll go back in there, and Steve will read me a Bible verse and then tell me exactly what it means, where there I was left in left field, not knowing anything.
Yeah.
But here I'm able to understand the Bible verses, and I have other guys in there that if one person can't explain it to me the right way, someone else can explain it to me in a better way so I understand it. And I don't really know how to put small group into words because it just means so much to me right now. It's creating me to be a better person, and that's what I'm looking for now. I wasn't a good person before. I really wasn't, and I'm able to get those feelings out to make me get to be a better person.
That's cool. Thanks for sharing, Pat.
No problem, Pastor Ron.